Hi, welcome to Farm to Table with Amber, where we grow, cook, and eat together. Today in this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about harvesting asparagus and when you want to stop harvesting it, how you can tell when it's time, and then a fun recipe at the end that I think you'll really enjoy. So let's get to it. So in harvesting asparagus, you do want to stop at a certain time because you don't want to overstress the plants. And I'm just going to show you here. This is the last picking that I did of our asparagus. And you can have asparagus go for about 6 weeks or so. You will just basically watch each plant and see when it's time to quit harvesting it. So let me just show you here. On these sprigs, you can see that there's some extra little leaves growing out, and it's not as tight as some. Like this one's a little bit tighter. But when you start seeing this, it's time to stop harvesting and let it just continue to grow and go into its dormancy phase. And then you won't stress out the asparagus plants so much. So we have stopped harvesting for the farmer's market, and I just did this last cutting for our family so that we can enjoy one more meal with asparagus, or maybe 2 meals with asparagus. But first you're going to want to wash this really well, just to make sure you get all of whatever's in there in the crown and the dirt and stuff out. So I'm just going to put it in a little bit of a wash. But for my recipe today, which is going to be simple, I'm going to snap these into smaller pieces and then wash them. But the recipe is basically going to be some bacon with some steamed asparagus, and I'll show you how to do that. Also, you can tell when it's really good if it just snaps like that, and then you can use the rest of the asparagus. This could be potentially kind of tough, so I'll toss that aside, and then you just keep snapping it until you get it in the little pieces, which I plan on doing. So right here you can tell, okay, that snapped off easily. That's probably still a little bit tough as well. So I'm at the point where now we'll want to keep those pieces. And I'm just going to snap these as I go, and then we'll get it in this recipe. Some people like really fat pieces of asparagus and some like the skinny. It's just all preference. To me, they both taste amazing. So you can use both. Now, in harvesting asparagus, again, you want to just watch them to make sure that they're not being overly stressed, and then you let them go. We are planting some more asparagus soon, and you'll have to watch that video on how to plant asparagus. It can be kind of tricky. It takes a little bit of tender loving care, and I'll explain in that video how to plant asparagus. So you should watch. We have been selling asparagus at the farmer's market, and we can't grow enough of it, and that's why we're planting more. People clamor over our asparagus. And truly, I see why. It tastes amazing. It doesn't have that old mossy smell to it that you get sometimes when you get asparagus in the grocery store. So if you want to grow your own and learn how to grow your own, it's a perennial. You do not have to keep planting every year. It's a great vegetable to have because it comes back every year. We have a high water table, so the roots go right down to that water, which is nice. But yeah, we're going to wash this asparagus really well. I'll show you. I'm just putting it in some water here and getting it nice and rinsed. So I've decided to use about this big of asparagus and larger so that they all cook uniform like. So again, get the woody pieces off, and we're just washing this right up, and I plan on just putting it in this steamer for a little bit. All right, it's going to go right in this steamer. And we just steam this up for a short period of time. You don't want to overcook your asparagus. And you lose less nutrition if you steam your vegetables. They taste really good this way. You can do asparagus any way you want. For example, throw it in the oven to roast it with a little bit of salt and pepper and some Parmesan cheese. That's really good too. So I'll let this simmer for about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 tops, and then I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to do with the asparagus. It's been about 3 minutes, so I'm going to check this and see if it's almost ready. It's getting close. Now the crowns are going to be a little bit softer than the rest, and look at that beautiful green color. Beautiful, huh? They're not quite ready yet, so I'm just going to give it another 2 minutes here in the steamer, and we'll let it steam for 2 more minutes, and then I'll show you how this recipe comes together. All right, I'm going to check it again. It's been about 5 minutes. I believe it's going to be done. And you really don't want to overcook asparagus. So you want it to stay this beautiful green color. Now that's gorgeous. Plus we're going to put it in this pan with some bacon. So that's ready to be set aside while I do this recipe with the bacon. So you can see gorgeous asparagus steamed, and we're ready to do the next portion of this recipe. Here we go. Now, you heard me mention bacon. Everything's good with bacon. And if you don't love asparagus, maybe try this recipe because bacon makes everything taste better. Although having asparagus straight from the garden makes it taste better. So try it from your garden if you can. All right, so here we go. We're just going to put a little bit of bacon in this pan, and it's pre-cut. I'll cut a little bit more just to show you how I do it. I like to get these kitchen scissors and just cut them in small strips, small pieces. And this will make it fry up really fast so that this recipe actually comes together really quickly. Now, I have a daughter home from college and then another teenage daughter here. And when they found out I was making this for their lunch, they were super excited. They said, that's one of my favorite dishes is asparagus and bacon over rice. So we'll just fry this up till it's really crunchy, and then I'll show you in a second what else we do. So the bacon is getting really crunchy, and that just takes about a minute or two. And there's a little bit of bacon grease in here, which again is so delicious. And then we're just going to put this, I thought it was hot, but it's not that bad. We're going to put this beautiful asparagus in here. You can hear that sizzle. And then just a little bit of garlic. So about a clove of garlic. We'll stir that in and turn the heat down just a little. And oh, you can sure smell that garlic and the bacon, and the colors are so beautiful. And we're going to keep this asparagus looking really green. We're not going to overcook it. A little bit of pepper. And then I also like to put a little bit of sea salt in here. So sea salt on that asparagus. Not much because, you know, bacon's a little bit salty as well. And then you don't want to cook that garlic too long. Certainly don't want to burn the garlic. So basically, guys, this is done. Okay, and I'll turn the heat down. Look at how beautiful that is. And then I'm basically going to serve it over a plate of rice. So here we go with the rice. You can use white rice, brown rice. Cauliflower rice is really delicious. So we do any of the above. Today, just to show you how pretty it is, I'm going to use white rice. So this, to me, is a very delicious healthy lunch. Look at that. That's from the asparagus out of the garden. So guys, if you enjoy asparagus from the store, great. If you want to grow your own, kind of follow me along the journey of growing asparagus. Again, we're going to plant some more. So we can show you that in the next video that I do. But enjoy your delicious asparagus meal. And thanks for joining my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already and like this video. Thanks for joining Farm to Table with Amber, where we grow, cook, and eat together. Have a great day.